Right now at 5:30, Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin wants people across the state to be prepared for severe weather. We'll have details on this morning's tornado drill coming up.
Also on WKYT this morning, state legislators will be hearing a bill that could extend line-of-duty death benefits to firefighters who die of cancer. We'll have details on that bill and how it is moving through Frankfort ahead.
And Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump looking for his third win in a row today in the Nevada caucuses.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. The early train pulling in right on time at 5:30, and we're glad you're with us on WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. I wish the train was pulling into the station of Spring. It's good.
I know, and we'll get there eventually. But,
yeah.
You know, a few little complications here and there before we do, because you have to kind of chug out of winter here in Kentucky. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, you know, it kind of feels like spring as we go into your afternoon. Mid-50s expected. You have some showers down toward the south, but this is fading within the next hour or two. And once that fades, we really don't have a chance of rain until late in the day. So rain down toward the southeast is your early morning commute if you're leaving within the next hour to a couple of hours. Lunchtime, mostly cloudy. Everybody's dry at lunchtime at 50 degrees. That's not a bad feel. Then your drive home, a pretty decent afternoon. Now, afternoon, you could have a slight chance of rain in the far south, but other than that, we still stay dry. It's really the focus is later on tonight and off into tomorrow, because that's when that rain moves on in. And not just showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder. I'll show you that, and also when that rain switches over into snow coming up.
All right, thank you, and let's get to the news.
Yeah, for years, firefighting organizations across the state have been pushing for workers' compensation for firefighters with cancer.
And they believe many times it's a result of their job, and today a bill will be heard by the state Senate that, if passed, would provide line-of-duty death benefits for firefighters who die of cancers linked to firefighting. WKYT's Mark Barber is joining us live from Frankfort to explain more about that. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. Under current laws, when a firefighter dies in the line of duty, the state gives their family $80,000. Well, this bill aims to extend those line-of-duty death benefits to firefighters who die of certain forms of cancer. Now, the Appropriations and Revenue Committee, they will hear this bill at 9 this morning. Supporters say that this firefighter cancer bill is needed because firefighters are exposed to dangerous substances when they fight fires, so they're at a higher risk of getting cancer. However, some lawmakers have reservations about the bill. Some say if a firefighter gets cancer, you can't just assume it's related to their job. Many firefighters in Lexington are throwing their weight behind the bill for the families of two of their own. Firefighter Matt Logston is battling stage 4 cancer after he received a difficult diagnosis last year. Also last year, well-known veteran firefighter Joe Vissing died from skin cancer. One factor of the bill that the committee will certainly take into consideration this morning will be the burden that it could place on the budget. The governor is trying to trim the fat off the budget to offset the state's pension shortfall. Some lawmakers have already expressed concerns that legislation like this could strain the budget. Now, that, of course, will be something for legislators to take into consideration as they consider whether they will approve the bill and send it on to the full Senate for a vote. Live in Frankfort, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you. We'll be obviously watching that today. And it is Severe Weather Awareness Week here in Kentucky.
And to make sure folks are prepared, state emergency officials have issued a statewide tornado drill that'll take place later this morning. Mike Byer joins us from the live desk with more.
Severe Weather Awareness Week began yesterday, and as part of the week, Kentucky will host a statewide tornado drill this morning. The drill will begin at 10:07 Eastern Time. At this time, tornado sirens, weather alert radios, and television and radio stations will broadcast the alert, including right here on WKYT. Whether you are at home, work, or school, state emergency management officials encourage all Kentuckians to practice their tornado safety plan during the drill. Here's a few suggestions on what you may want to prepare for in the case of a real tornado. Now, during a tornado, wear something to protect your head and neck, avoid windows, and get to the basement. If you don't have a basement, go to the lowest floor or find a small interior room or hallway. Once you find your safe spot, get under some type of protection. Find some sturdy protection. Now, officials are asking everyone to use this drill as practice so you can have a plan in place in the case of a real tornado. This could ultimately save the lives of you and your family. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, thanks, Mike. New this morning, Richmond police say a woman faces assault charges after she said A woman faces assault charges, I should say, after they say that she stabbed the father of her child. That's according to Richmond police. Investigators say 29-year-old Leslie Mitchell was arrested Sunday. According to the Richmond Register, this began after Mitchell and the father of her child started arguing. At some point, investigators say Mitchell picked up a knife. Moments later, they say she used the knife to stab the father of her child multiple times. The Richmond Register reports the victim was transported to UK hospital where he was put into a medically induced coma.
Investigators are continuing to look into a deadly crash in Magoffin County. It happened yesterday afternoon on Highway 542 south of Salyersville. State police say 44-year-old Kelly Vanderpool of Gunlock died in the crash. Investigators are not sure, but they say it appears that Vanderpool lost control of his Camaro, causing his vehicle to flip into a creek. Police say Vanderpool was pronounced dead at the scene. Neighbors who saw the wreck tried to help, but they say it was too late.
You replay it over and over, what could I've done? You know, it's like the state police said, you know, he said, don't beat yourself up. You done all you could. That's all I know.
Investigators do not believe that alcohol was involved, but they did say that Vanderpool was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash.
A woman and baby are fighting for their lives this morning after being involved in a deadly crash in northern Kentucky. Happened yesterday afternoon on Interstate 275 in Campbell County near the Ohio state line. Witnesses say the driver was speeding when he lost control and rolled the vehicle several times. Police say the driver, along with a woman and 7-month-old boy riding with him, were all thrown from the car. The driver was killed while the woman and baby were taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Investigators say the cause of the crash under investigation. They do think drugs may have played a role after several needles were found inside the car.
The time this morning is 5:36 here on WKYT, and Republicans will caucus in Nevada today to select their party's presidential nominee. GOP frontrunner Donald Trump is hoping to secure a third win in a row, while rivals Ted Cruz, he's fighting back claims now that he is running a dirty campaign.
Don Champion has the latest from the campaign trail.
After winning primaries in South Carolina and New Hampshire, Donald Trump is eyeing a big win in Nevada tonight.
You gotta vote tomorrow. You gotta vote, vote, vote.
On the eve of the state's GOP caucuses, the Republican frontrunner did not hold back, slamming a protester.
Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
And bashing rival Ted Cruz for what he called dishonest campaign ads.
This guy is sick. There's something wrong with this guy.
God bless the great state of Nevada.
After finishing in third place behind Marco Rubio in South Carolina, Cruz is going into today's contest without his communications director. Rick Tyler was asked to resign Monday for sharing a false news story on social media that suggested Rubio dismissed the Bible.
I have made clear in this campaign that we will conduct this campaign with the very highest standards of integrity. That has been how we've conducted it from day one.
Speaking on a flight to Vegas, Rubio called Tyler the fall guy for Cruz's deceptive campaign.
You feel bad for the guy. He's basically a guy who was executing a culture that exists in that campaign.
Rubio is leading Cruz in the Silver State. Both are vying to be the main alternative to Trump, with Super Tuesday just a week away. Don Champion, CBS News.
Well, on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton will take part in a town hall event tonight in South Carolina ahead of the state's Democratic primary this weekend.
Well, a central Kentucky city is deciding today whether to expand alcohol sales. This morning, voters in Harrodsburg will be deciding whether or not to expand the sales in restaurants that seat at least 50 people. Right now, only restaurants that sell at least 100 people can sell alcohol by the drink. The polls are scheduled to open in less than a half hour at 6 o'clock this morning. They will close at 6 p.m. in the city limits of Harrodsburg.
UK football coach Mark Stoops will now be without one of his star defensive players going forward. 21-year-old defensive end Jason Hatcher was released from the football team yesterday after being arrested in Franklin County. The sheriff there says a deputy initially pulled Hatcher over for speeding on I-64. After the deputy smelled what he thought was marijuana, he initiated a search on Hatcher's car and found about a pound of marijuana. Deputies say Hatcher is charged with trafficking in the drug, evidence tampering, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Hatcher was suspended for UK's first 2 games of last season for violating team rules.
Investigators now think drugs led to a shooting in Louisville earlier this month that injured a mail carrier. Police have charged the accused shooter, Eric Bennett, with attempted murder and his brother, Marcus Bennett, with assault. Investigators say the mail carrier told them that Marcus Bennett had approached him for help in delivering some drug packages. He claims Marcus later blamed him for a missing package. Police say the mail carrier has been convicted of drug charges in the past, including felony possession of cocaine.
Police need your help finding the owner of a dog they say was abandoned and later hit and killed by a car. Surveillance video shows the vehicle stopping near the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter in Perry County last Wednesday. A dog jumped out of the vehicle before the driver took off. Animal shelter workers say the dog spent several hours outside the shelter before running off. You can see that dog there. They say someone later found the dog dead along Highway 80. The shelter is offering a $250,000 reward, or a $250 reward for information in the case.
Time this morning is 5:40 here on WKYT, and community members in Lincoln County are rallying behind a couple who is dealing with a tragic loss. Ronnie and Cassie Elmore's 10-day-old son, Ransom, died earlier this month at Kentucky Children's Hospital. The couple decided to donate Ransom's organs to save other babies' lives. Kentucky Children's Hospital officials say Ransom was the youngest donor in the hospital's history. Last night, a fundraiser was held for the Elmores at Lincoln County Middle School, where Cassie is a teacher. She says knowing Ransom helped others gives her some comfort.
One day, I guess, we went home and it kind of just dawned on us that he might not have been sitting here to be our miracle, but to be a miracle for other people.
Volunteers also signed up people to be organ donors at the fundraiser. The Elmores have also set up a fund at Kentucky Children's Hospital. It's called the Handsome Ransom Wilder Elmore Fund. It will help children who have parents, that is, who have children in the hospital's NICU. Time this morning is 5:41, and let's check live drive traffic and see what's going out there bright and early on your Tuesday with a look at the current traffic situation. A lot of green on there, lots of normal at the moment.
Yeah, you know, it looks pretty normal out there, so hopefully this week won't cause us too many problems on the roads, even though we do have a slight chance for snow.
All right, and we'll get some indication here in just a little bit on a couple of delays that you see this morning. Heading into the downtown area, but no reports of any major problems right now. All right, a lot more news coming up on WKYT on your Tuesday morning.
Movie star Leonardo DiCaprio holds worldwide popularity, but could he have a twin? Look at the Oscar nominee's viral look-alike. That does not look like him. When WKYT this morning returns. That doesn't look.
And we have a little light rain down toward the far south and southeast. This starts to fade, and we'll have a pretty nice day in store until tonight. Tonight's when things get pretty active, and I'll show you that forecast coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have a couple of light showers south and southeast. It's not causing many problems, but just know this. If you're in the far south and southeastern zones, Howard Rogers Parkway, Cumberland Parkway, that's where we've been dealing with some showers early this morning. But they are fading away as I speak. So there is your look. Give it another hour to 2 hours max out of this, and it will be long gone. Once that fades away, then you're talking about a pretty dry day in store. Temperatures in the 30s in the central and northern zones. You go southbound, we're there in the 40s. It's just like yesterday morning. As you step out the door, teachers, keep in mind, okay, listen up, teachers. Get the kids outside today if you can, just due to the fact tomorrow you won't be able to, Thursday you won't be able to, if you're even in school. Friday, that's another day that it's going to be really cold and also with a few flakes. So today is your last day in the next 3 to 4 days throughout the rest of the school week that you can actually get the kids outside on the playground and kind of play around. 50 degrees there by 11 a.m. Noontime at 52, and you can see by 1 p.m. there in the low to mid 50s. Really good feel out and about. Could you see a stray shower south of I-64 before the sun sets? It's possible, but still we're talking 20% max out of that. It's really off into the evening and night that you start to see the rain up here. Here's 8 p.m. and look at the rain. The heavy rain's now in the southern portions of our viewing area right along the Cumberland Parkway. It extends northbound as we go off into midnight. Midnight is going to be very wet. If you're one of those that maybe work really late or head into work really late or early, whichever way you look at it, it's going to be a wet go at it. Tomorrow morning as we come into work and get you prepared for the day, it's going to be a wet go at it too. Not only that, not only are we looking at widespread rain, but these aren't just showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder, and that could keep a few of us up overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. That lasts through the day. It's on and off, but it's an all-day thing. So we're looking at anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain. And then look what happens there on Wednesday night. Just before midnight, that colder air rushes on in, and that switches the rain off into snow. That's Wednesday night, just before midnight, into Thursday. Thursday's going to be a day it's going to be hard for kids to get to school, just due to the fact that we're looking at anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of snow for most, okay? I think at the highest we could get 3 inches, the very lowest, a coating on the ground. So this isn't a major impact, but it's just enough to cause some problems there for the schools. And it looks like some delays, some cancellations, some kids being home there on Thursday is likely. So keep that in mind, parents and teachers. Okay, let's check out your 7-day forecast. Here is your look. And you can see today 54, tomorrow right around 60 degrees. I actually feel nice once you get those breaks in the rain showers and also those winds. 40 to 50 miles per hour, really gusting in here. Thursday's your snow chance. Friday, a couple of flakes, not a big issue, but still cold. Then your weekend, guys, we jump it right back up, 40s and 50s in the forecast. So the 2 days to watch tonight and into tomorrow, and then we go off into Thursday for your snow chance. Those are the 2 days to watch in the forecast.
Well, we'll be watching and waiting and hoping that it just bypasses.
That's right.
But it looks like a day of rain, a day of snow, and then we move on.
And then we move on.
Is that kind of encapsulated?
Right. It's right there in the middle, and move on. There you go.
Thank you, Micah. 5:48 now. Leonardo DiCaprio's role in blockbuster films has given him worldwide popularity, but one of Hollywood's biggest stars has apparently a plus-sized twin.
So they say that this guy looks like Leo DiCaprio. I don't know. Meet Roman Burtsev, the 33-year-old Russian security guard, has become an internet sensation after sharing many characteristics resembling Leo DiCaprio. But Burtsev is being called Leo's larger twin. He hasn't been offered a big-time movie role, but Leo's lookalike has become a star in Russia. The channel Moscow 24 has given him his own TV show called Romance with DiCaprio. Okay. Burtsev has even undergone cosmetic procedures to enhance his DiCaprio features. So what's the real Leo DiCaprio think about his so-called twin? So far, the Oscar-nominated actor has not commented on his international look-alike.
Well, I can see the resemblance.
A tiny bit.
Yeah.
A tiny bit.
Well, it's enough to get him some fame there on the other side of the globe.
Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
We'll check traffic again, see how things are moving along for you this morning. We have health news, what's trending on the web this morning, and our top stories are on the way. Kentucky mornings start right here on WKYT. Good morning to you and welcome back in to WKYT this morning. We're glad you're along with us. Here on this Tuesday, we're getting well into the work week now, 5:53.
Let's take a look right now at some of the stories we're working on for you at this hour.
The firefighter cancer bill will be going before the Appropriations and Revenue Committee this morning, and if it passes, the bill would make certain forms of cancer considered to be death in the line of duty.
Republicans caucus in Nevada today to select their party's presidential nominee.
After winning primaries in both South Carolina and New Hampshire, frontrunner Donald Trump is hoping to beat rivals Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio once again. Cruz is going into today's contest without one of his top aides after he was fired over a misleading video suggesting that Rubio insulted the Bible.
Demonstrators are expected to stage rallies at Apple stores across the country amid the company's ongoing encryption battle with the FBI. Apple is refusing to comply with the court order to create a backdoor that would allow the FBI to access data from the iPhone of one of the San Bernardino terrorists. The company's appeal is due by Friday. Good news for obese people trying to slim down.
Researchers in St. Louis have found just a 5% weight loss could spark the biggest health benefits. Even a 10-pound weight loss in a person weighing 200 pounds cut diabetes and heart disease risk and improved metabolic function.
Researchers in the Netherlands have found that anxious and depressed parents are more likely to have children who are fussy eaters. They tracked thousands of family members and found the more anxious the parents were, even during pregnancy, the more likely their preschoolers would be picky eaters. Not not good news there. 5:54 is the time. Let's get a check right now. Today's traffic travel spots with a look at live drive traffic. Not hearing of too many issues this morning for you on this Tuesday. Things looking pretty good out there. Time to check now what's making news online with Bill.
All right, we're coming up on 5:55, and we have all the latest for you on WKYT.com. So if you get up to about mid-morning today and you start wondering what in the world is going on, we'll be covering today's statewide tornado drill, which is set for 10:07. Emergency workers are hoping that you'll think through your plan and figure out exactly what you would do if a tornado came your way. Also trending, as Lexington keeps growing, more drivers are cutting through neighborhoods to get where they're going. WKYT investigates how that is leading to higher speeds and lots of complaints from people who fear for the family's safety. You can check out our story on demand. A lot of you have been clicking on and sharing our story about Lexington's decision to fill in that big hole at the Centerpoint lot downtown if the underground garage is not under construction by the end of March. A tragic national story that we're following this morning. A former Miss America contestant has died after an accident. Former Miss New Jersey, Kara McCollum, passed away a week after the tragic wreck. Back in here on Kentucky.com, more of a watchdog report on how properties that are slated for development are being taxed at pennies on the dollar because they're considered farmland, and that is shifting the burden to everybody else. That includes a 77-acre lot next to Hamburg's shopping area that's being developed into luxury apartments. It was taxed at just $644 last year. CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 with your eye opener, and of course we'll have local updates. Hey, join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest anytime, WKYT.com.
And we're looking south and southeast. That's the area that's seeing a few sprinkles, couple of showers. These are light showers, and they are fading the way they've been fading for the past hour. So give it about 7 to 8 a.m. and all of this will be long gone. So another hour for the most part, maybe a little bit longer than that. But you know what? Southeast rain this morning through the day. It actually looks really nice. This is a good day. And this is the day you want to get out and knock some things out outside, because tomorrow you won't be able to, Thursday you won't be able to, Friday's going to be cold. Yeah, you've got a lot to talk about with another hour of WKYT News.